Thanks for tuning in to my kitchen remodel time lapse. So to begin with, you can see me start removing the Formica countertops. And right now I plan on putting a breakfast area right here, so I'm starting to remove the drywall from this wall. And I didn't have any regular tools, so I'm just using a knife to cut the drywall right now. Just continuing to remove more of that wall. So for my stone counters, I chose to use a really gorgeous and organic looking marble counters, and there you see it. We did a single piece with an undermount sink. So that's just me and my brother putting it in right now. So right now, it took me a while to realize if this was a load-bearing wall or not. It was really tough to see from out here, so I actually had to go in the attic to see. It's really weird because this is between two trusses, because the trusses in the attic run parallel with this. And as you can see from the top of the video, there's nothing on it, so it's just really weird how this was framed out, because there's not like a truss over it, and it's between two trusses, so it ended up not being a load-bearing wall, so I can just remove it. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just beginning to remove it. And yeah, as you can see, it was just like, it was pretty weirdly framed. So right now I'm just adding wood so it seems more proud and it looks like a main beam. Because it was either I do a weird right angle joint or I can make it seem more proud. And right now I'm just actually making it look, I'm adding wood to make it seem more proud and actually make it look like a load-bearing wall. So right now I'm beginning to put subway tile in. Our demo dog wants the floors gone really bad. He's helping us tear out the floors. Goofball. So in here I'm installing 3x6 subway tile. It's a gray, almost cracked glass looking tile that I got from our granite supplier. Absolutely looks beautiful. If you see the really intricate detail up close, it looks like broken glass pattern across it. So right now I'm using tile adhesive to put it in, which, you know, tile adhesive is difficult to work with, but since these are small format tiles, it actually does a really good job, and it gives you long working times when you have to do a bunch of intricate cuts in that. So, and I'm doing I believe 1/16 grout lines with this. I believe that's what it was. I forget entirely. So I throw on a bunch of tile adhesive on the wall, and then I do back butter every single tile, just so I ensure that there's a solid uniform coating of you know, tile adhesive, just so I know it's a really strong bond. So I know it's difficult to see at this really fast feedback or fast playback. You may be able to see it in some of the scenes, but I initially throw on some of the tile adhesive on the wall, and then I back butter each individual tile, just to ensure that there's a really solid and uniform coating of tile adhesive on the back, and then I use these spacers to ensure that it's even grout lines everywhere, and it actually turns out quite well, and I'm really happy with the outcome. And right now this is behind the stove area, and the wood's there just simply providing support from it, so all that weight with the wet adhesive is not going to fall down. So right now I'm just beginning to drywall, put some drywall over the wall I placed. So yeah, all the drywall that as you can see, I just screw in, and I'm making sure it's nice and tight everywhere, that there's no really large gaps. Even though I'm gonna mud, I still want really nice tight joints everywhere. So right then and there, I just threw on the bottom piece, and now I'm throwing on that vertical piece. And with the level, I was just making sure that it's perfectly plumb and level, and just so I make sure it looks really good on the eye. And right now I'm screwing in some metal corner bead. Again, I really want nice sharp corners. Yeah, I mean, you know, screwing it in takes more time, but this way I ensure that it's done really well. And just again throwing some corner bead on here. So right now I'm just starting to smack on some mud all over the screw holes and around the corner beads, making sure that it just looks nice and smooth. And this is quite time consuming, and holding my arms up so much, you know, just it's really painful. I don't know how people do this all day long. I mean, sure, I do still lift weights and that, but it could be from the fact that I could be sore and that. But I mean, it's really tough to hold your arms up so high. So right now in this video, like, I tore out the floor previously, and I'm starting to put in some 6" by 24". It's that hardwood looking porcelain tile. I get it from my granite supplier, and it's like their HD series, so it again looks really beautiful, and it honestly looks just like hardwood. It's quite miraculous. So for the thin set, I'm using the VersaBond large format tile thin set. Again, for here, I wouldn't want to use tile adhesive because it'll never dry with these large format tiles. But for here on the floor, we chose, I chose to do no grout gap. So it's again each of the individual tiles butt up right next to each other, just so it really has that beautiful like hardwood looking, like where there's no grout lines. And I actually do choose to grout it with the same color grout, so again it doesn't look like there's grout lines anywhere. So again, as you just saw, I did a perpendicular line because where there's carpet right now, eventually I'm going to replace it with some other floor material that's not carpet. So I chose to do the tiles perpendicularly because I felt like that would look just slightly better. So again, this floor was actually pretty good and level. You know, I've seen instances where the floors are horrible. So I'm throwing down some of the thin set, but again, just like the backsplash, I throw on the thin set, and then I do back butter each and every individual tile, just to assure that there's no hollow points and there's no weak points in it, because you can tell on tiled floors if there's not fully submerged or there's not an even coating of thin set in the back, because you get that almost hollow sounding like, and I did not want that. So I made sure each and every individual had thin set on the floor, then was back buttered to make sure even coating and no hollow sounding, because again, I don't want these to ever crack in that. So right now I'm just starting to trim up everywhere, and yeah, that's how I'm just trimming up. That air compressor you see, I actually got out of the trash. It has a seized up motor. I fixed the motor, and once I put in some royal purple air compressor oil, it's been working beautifully ever since, and now I use it to do trim and molding everywhere. Again, just starting to paint around the corners and do some trim. Right now I'm running a water line for the fridge. Again, the previous fridge was a simple one. Then I put this French door with the bottom chest freezer. So there's not much counter space in this kitchen. So right now I'm just fabbing. What you'll see later on in the video is a top or a countertop for a vanity that I'm gonna turn into like a floating island. And I'm just fabbing it here on our bridge saw. Then that's just me and my dad working together. Hey, so I just wanted to recap the whole kitchen remodel. To begin with, as you enter the kitchen, I put a quartzite threshold in. The kitchen was at a slightly different elevation than the hallway that leads to the master bedroom. So I put in a little threshold that sort of eases you into this elevation. And then when you move in here, I remodeled my bathroom as well, and I took the cabinet out and made it a floating island for the kitchen. You know, I put it on wheels, and I put a beautiful granite countertop on it to sort of just increase the amount of counter space we have. Over here, the main kitchen area, obviously we put in a beautiful marble countertops. I really wanted to go for something organic looking, and this one's just absolutely breathtaking. It has a gorgeous veins everywhere. You know, I do granite, so of course, you know, I made a granite cutting board as well. I did a 3x6 subway tile in. I threw a single bowl undermount sink in, large sink, really deep, so it holds a lot of stuff. And we go to my favorite part of this is sort of like the bar slash breakfast nook area here that we use to eat breakfast everywhere, which obviously took taking on the wall, putting a header, drywalling everything up, and again putting this beautiful piece of marble on with this gorgeous vein going right across it. And then the final portion of this, the kitchen remodel, was getting some new appliances here and putting some subway tile in the back again. And then of course, one of my other favorite parts is the beautiful tile wood floor. That just absolutely looks great with everything. Now if you get the chance, please hit the subscribe button. If you like this video on how it played out with the developing of a project from start to beginning, please check out my other video on the patio build, which is a little bit more extensive than this, a lot larger of a task at hand, but it's essentially showing the same stuff. Thank you so much. Have a great day.